Guys, today I am going to be doing some... Why do I always look behind me? I'm looking behind me. There's something after me. I don't know what it is, but there is something after me. I don't know. Okay. Today I'm going to be doing some work on the rain barrels and getting them ready to hold lots of microbes and things like that. It's getting close to Christmas, so I'm hoping to get some of those microbes a couple weeks after Christmas. I'm going to get some nitrifying bacteria going, and then I'm going to get some Daphnia and other little organisms to go in the water and eat the nitrifying bacteria. So first I need a medium for the nitrifying bacteria to hold on to so they can spread around in the water, and when the water gets circulating, which I'm going to get a pump to do that eventually, it'll be all good and golden. So right now I have a bunch of nylon scrubbing pads I got for $1 each. There's 6 to a pack. And this is going to be the medium that I'm going to let the nitrifying bacteria hold on to. So all the little organisms, they live inside the pores and on the surface of this material. And they can't really get sloughed off, so they spread out and colonize throughout the water. If you don't have this, they'll only slightly colonize on the edges of rain barrels or suspended in the solution. But when you have aeration and things like that going, you kind of want an extra these little seeds basically to hold the bacteria and give a safe place for them to grow. Especially once you have the Daphnia, which prey on the bacteria. So this gives a good little home and safe place for the bacteria to grow and keep breaking down the urea into nitrates and nitrites and things like that for the plants. So without that, you would end up with too much ammonia and too much urea and ammonia that it hasn't been broken down. So once I get that going, the fish can go in. The fish will produce ammonia and urea, and the bacteria will break it down, and they'll be turned to nitrates and nitrites and other things like that, and it'll get pumped from that barrel there into trays. I'm probably going to replace all these trays with something more uniform, and it'll circulate through all the growing trays, and it'll water the plants in dirt, because the dirt solution kind of acts as a buffer. So if you have a hydroponic system, you have to control everything. The dirt acts as a bit of a buffer, so the organisms in the dirt will take any excess nutrients and provide any excess nutrients or change in pH and kind of act as a buffer, so the plants don't just get killed outright if there's a sudden change in the pH and things like that. So I'm going to do it in soil, but with a kind of a basin, like a fill basin. So I'm going to use much smaller containers than this, much shorter, kind of like underbed storage, and it's going to fill this whole table, and that will make it very easy and worry-free. I'm going to use all these large containers like this, fill up those growing mediums, plant them out, and grow a bunch of crops, harvest crops. I'm going to get a rooting regimen going on with the mint, so I can grow extra plants, and hopefully I can turn this into a bit of a profit at some point once I get all the plants going and moving. Right now I got the heat going on in here because it's quite chilly, especially with all the moisture in here. It's not frozen, but it's quite chilly. Oh, it looks like I have mayflies grow in here. You can see them just right there on the wall. Some sort of mayfly or mosquito or something like that. That's always good. When they're growing in, they grow in the water, and they will act as a food source for the fish. So I don't mind those. The fish will eat them. once I get more fish. I'm probably going to start with goldfish so that the bacteria and everything are going. Goldfish are inexpensive to start a system. So once you, and kind of, you can gauge how to grow the system with the goldfish. So once you have the goldfish, they're fairly tolerant or very inexpensive, and you can fiddle around with the system, kind of test it out before you go full into a production of some sort of food fish, say like bass or tilapia, things like that. Although you can eat goldfish if you really want to, usually they don't get very big. I'm probably going to raise minnows, and maybe some larger bass, things like that. Probably the minnows are going to use to eat the Daphnia, things like that, and then fed to the a variation of Daphnia and minnows will be fed to the larger fish. So that'll be good. So I should get these scrubbing pads in here and stop talking about stuff. Okay, so I gotta open one of these packages. I probably should have opened these before I started videoing, but oh well. I'll put you guys down right here and hopefully I don't press anything and stop the film. Okay, good to go. Ooh, that's nice and warm. Now, I do caution, don't do what I'm doing, which for heat, get like a proper heater. I would suggest putting on a timer though, that way it's better. But you want a fairly safe heater, something like an oil heater, in a small space like this, because having this open burner here, if something plastic falls on it, it could light on fire and light the whole place on fire. So I'm being fairly safe here, but it could be a lot safer. Okay, so 1 pack. I got 5 packs. I'm going to give 1 pack to my girlfriend as a kind of a sweet joke gift that make up a whole story for Christmas. That'll be fun. And hopefully I don't post this before Christmas, otherwise that'll ruin the surprise. Okay. Sorry, is it falling? In they go. And they're floating. Oops. Yeah, I should probably just take this completely off and work from there. There we go. I kind of really need a better system for this here. Okay. Get these submerged. This tank here probably is going to grow a lot of algae, so I might use this as a finishing tank. Fish might go in here, and then all the nitrifying bacteria will circulate through there, and the water will get pumped out from there. So all these nylon scrub pads I might be transferring into that tank over there, so that I have a kind of a finishing tank where all the algae and the excess nutrients from it circulating through the plants will get eaten up and turned and oxygenated in here, and then I'm going to make a water bridge into this tank here, and it'll extend all these tanks, so I'll have about each one of these tanks is probably 150 gallons or more. No, 200 gallons or so. So that'll be about 600 gallons of water, basically, as one big system. So, get these scouring pads and get them sinking a little. And away they go. Nylon scrubbing pads. Sweet. They have to get a little wet. And such. I'll put this down again. Hopefully I don't turn off the thing. Yeah, the recording's good. So 2 packets in here. And then, yeah. Throw those in. So if you want to circulate to get a nitrifying bacteria going, you can use either some ammonia, or you can use urine from any source. Either fish or from animals. You can use some a little bit of fertilizer, things like that, just to get the bacteria and stuff going. But a very common practice is to use ammonia that you buy at pretty much any store where clean supplies are sold, and you can put a little bit of that in the water to get the nitrifying bacteria started. If you put too much, you'll kill everything, but a little bit won't hurt. Okay, so there is my first two in there. Now I have to do the second thing, which I have the heater on. Fun times. Alright. Well, I guess you get the idea. So here's the little scrubby pads. And they'll get soaked full of water and get bacteria. Oh, that water is cold. Ooh, cold water. And they'll start going. I need to get a heater for this water, because that would make my life a bit easier. Instead of just heat the water, and then it'll be nice and comfortable for the bacteria and the fish, and then I don't have to worry about anything. I won't have to worry about heating everything. So probably pick up one of those while I'm buying pumps and things. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little episode. It's actually about 7 minutes, 8 minutes long. Hope you learned a lot with me, and I'm going to keep working on this, and eventually once it's all set up and going, I'll show you all that too. And you guys have a Merry Christmas. Hope you had a Merry Christmas. It'll probably be posted after Christmas, how things work out. And you know, like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Love you guys. Bye.